How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a guide on Lust, in which we focus specifically on how to build her to transform your guild boss team. So look at that number on your screen right there. You can see we got a first ever 50k blood for Cassandra. Thank you, Cassandra. She's a avid viewer who arrives from Romania, and I put out a call saying I was looking to do a guild boss takeover to feature in some content where I transform a team once they get Lust, because I feel like there's a lot of blasphemy going around saying Lust is not that good, was not worth the hype. It is not true at all. So in this, I will show you my strategy to run concurrently a Piercer with a Nightmare team. You easily could do the same thing with a Nightmare and Infernal team, or you could do a Nightmare team and then all off units. Obviously, Piercer and Infernal are going to be the meta teams to pair with Nightmare. Now with Lust, those are the three main meta factions in the game. Basically, this is going to be two things. It's going to be showing you the build I did on Lust, explaining why I built her this way, how it all works. It's not too complicated. People keep coming and asking me, how do you build Lust? Can you share your Lust build, stuff like that? Which is a great question. I mean, everyone's excited since they just got her. That's why I wanted to make this guide. But at the end of the day, DPS build with a decent amount of attack speed. Get some Rage Regen on there if you want. But you'll see it here. I did my absolute darndest. And I will say this was our first try. So I've only ever done this team once ever. We got the 50k on our first try. There's a lot of room for optimization for Cassandra. I will also say this is a good team. Like, don't get it wrong, but it takes a good team to get 50k, especially when you just hop in there, get it on your first try. I would say the gear is quite good. The gear is not amazing. Some of you will think it's shockingly good. Some of you will think it's bad. Cassandra thinks it's bad. I'd say it's pretty good. We have some endgame sets. You know, we're still working on min-maxing the actual stats. And the team's good. I'll show you in 1 second. But yeah, before we hop into it, I just want to explain, use this guide and use this as guidance. You can swap things in and out. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get 50k. As you saw earlier, we brought Cassandra all the way up from 30k to 50k. I mean, that is tremendous. I'll show you the damage right now, and then we'll hop into it. 117 mil for Hex. Hex is really no joke. This is just a normal Hex. There's no exclusive artifact. Then we've got A0 Arrogance. Lust just really brings him alive. And I will say thank you to Cassandra. Cassandra pulled Arrogance last weekend to make him A1 and didn't awaken him, because I asked, let's keep the awakenings down, let's keep things under control. She's got an A1 Silas, A0 Lust. That was really important to me that we show her at A0. She doesn't need crazy awakenings. Then we've got Valeriya, who, talk about room for optimization. In this run I just did, she died with like a minute left. We still got it done. And then these are our cycle units. We're going to run a traditional, you know, kind of hollow Laurel Infernal Rage comp. Funny to call it Infernal, more like a Nightmare Rage comp. Maybe that's what we can call this. And that's kind of where Lust shines. So we'll get into it and I'm going to show you everything. But that, I just think that's what people aren't understanding. That damage is huge. 73 million with the gear that's on her, that's freaking huge. She's awesome. She's at A0 and she's doing that, right? First try, without optimization. But what you're missing, you're saying, well, she's not Hex or she's not Praetus or whatever nuts things people are saying. She brings so much utility. She is allowing Valeriya and Arrogance to totally just sing with the amount of rage regen she's giving them. She's kind of like if you combined Laurel's ult, like when Laurel's sharing rage with people in range, she's doing that every time she whips her Nightmare friends. Combine that with a Silas level DPS. This is an A1 Silas with Bond, with Aracha. I mean, could we get better numbers with better gear and optimization? Sure, but it would go both ways. I mean, this is dang impressive, and she's enabling Arrogance as well. We went from 30 or 31k, you guys saw the picture at the beginning, to, what is this, 50.5k, 50.4k? I mean, that is night and day, guys. Let's get into it. Lust, Guild Boss, Nightmare Comp, Nightmare 4, let's do it. Oh my god, I drink too much coffee.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, guys, so we got that 50k first try. Without further ado, let's see if I can replicate. Maybe do even better. Maybe frickin' Valeriya doesn't die. She might die earlier, and then I'll have to restart the run. Valeriya, since they changed her passive that occurs during her ult, I'll just show you, is such a headache. So here, and I'm not criticizing them. It literally reads one way, and it operated another way. So it was a gameplay bug, because it's always read this way. Enters unyielding state upon taking fatal damage and dies immediately when the ultimate ends. She wasn't dying. So if you had healed her back up after the ultimate ends, she would keep going. This isn't the case anymore, so it can be really annoying. I'm going to do my best with Valeriya. She's very frustrating because she also can't be healed when she is ulting. Lots of silly things there, but she can put up some big girl damage, as you saw, like over 50 million having died with a minute left into the fight. The minute left remaining in the fight, I should say. Now, while we're in the hero screen, let's just go straight to Lust. You can see she's actually, this is funny, Cassandra has exactly the same skill ups that I do on my Lust. Everything except the last 2 on Ecstasy. This is the least important. So if you can max everything before this, I'd say up until much later on in the game, who cares? Everything else is very, very necessary. So her basic skill, it's going to attack enemies 2 times in range. You also have that 15% chance that each attack is going to hit on allies. The damage is really nice when she does hit the enemy. So you're talking 200% damage when she's skilled up. The damage that comes to your allies is really not much. Combine that with this passive, it's so worth it, right? Because it's not based off of max HP, it's current HP, it's only 5%. What happens here, she gains 30% damage increase upon dealing damage to allies with basic attacks, so she's going to do way more damage. You really want to surround her with a couple Nightmare units. If the targeted ally belongs to the Nightmare Council, there's a 50-50 chance she's going to restore 10% rage, 10% of that bar. So she's in a lot of attack speed, and I will say, this isn't the most optimized Lust build ever. We're only at 313 attack speed. In the end, I did choose to put her in an Infernal Roar set. Her best in slot would be Soulbound Arcana. We just didn't really have that to work with. I'll show you, we had that on, Arrogance and Hex, who I predicted would be our top DPS, and in fact, they were. I could maybe switch Arrogance and her. I don't think it's worth it. But if we don't even have an attack speed Infernal Roar piece, but let's say we had like an ancient attack speed Infernal Roar, or just a normal attack speed Infernal Roar with like an attack bonus and a crit rate, that would be preferable. I could also maybe even get some attack speed over here. So if we could get her attack speed higher, it would be nice. I mean, 213 additional isn't bad. It's not too crazy good. We've got her at a 1.6 second attack interval. If we could get her to like 1.4, if we got her like super fast at like 1.3, 1.2, is that too crazy? That's a little crazy for the gear we have on this account. It'd be really cool because as the attack speed increases, that's the amount of basic attacks she does. Basic attacks are where you get the chance to hit your allies. You really want her hitting your allies because it's going to keep her damage multipliers up, the 30% damage increase, and giving that rage. It's just like Arrogance, as you're going to see, is in view of both Laurel and Lust. So he's just cycling, right? He's getting the Laurel cycle, he's getting Hollow cycle, and he's getting Lust cycle. So it's really amazing for getting the people you want ulting. Same thing goes when she whips Valeriya, stuff like that. Just really good with Lust here. But like I said, suboptimal build. So I want you to take this as like a template. If you have worse gear, you can use offset pieces. You don't need a full set on the right. Maybe you could use not premium gear. And if you have better gear, I would highly suggest you put an attack speed amulet on her. And then Soulbound Arcana is going to be the best for her. Because even though her ultimate juices up her basic attack, so she is a good candidate for Infernal Roar, a lot of damage is going to come from her talent from when she triggers Sinful Ash. So that will not benefit from Infernal Roar, because that doesn't count as a basic attack. All in all, that is our Lust. We decided to run her in an exclusive. It's solid. If all else was equal, I think I'd put her in a Wailing Skull, but we only had the one. I threw it on Valeriya. If I was to play around with this more, it might be worth doing that, or maybe putting Wailing Skull on Arrogance, Realm Tail on her, putting her behind, trying to maybe Rage Cycle with her and Laurel. That could be a good shout. There's a lot of things we could play with, but I mean, the lineup's cooking, so we're going to roll with it. That's going to be our Lust. She's really good. I'll show you the main stats, and then we'll get right into the battle. I'll explain what's going on. You can see, let me see those total stats, please. Come on, exclamation point. You can see almost just under 15k attack, 313 attack speed. It's solid. Very nice crit damage at 322 and a half, and then no rage regen. So there's a lot of room for improvement with this build, but it's solid. It's solid. Like, good late game build. And let's get into it. So basically, it's slightly atypical for a Laurel comp because 2 main DPS are not going to be in range of Laurel, right? Laurel works best. She's able, when you pick her up and you get the benefit of Laurel's talent, she's going to benefit and she's going to give her benefit, the rage boost, the 50% rage cap restoration to all the blocks, all the tiles directly surrounding her. So 1 to her right, 1 to her left, the 3 in front of her, and the 3 behind her. With the way it works with the map of course, in the guild boss, she can only do 1 melee unit. So that's going to be here in this formation Arrogance. I think that does make the most sense. But it also, you could argue maybe we should do Lust, and that is something. If I don't get it here, maybe I'll play with it. But you saw it did just work, so that's pretty sweet. We also have Arrogance and a Realm Tear, which I think is going to be the best in slot for him for this fight. It's kind of a wash. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's also unclear to me how many tiles they count it as for Arrogance, whether they're counting it as 3 tiles or not. That all being said, we should be pretty good. We got to max out Realm Tear. I'm just going to run it back, but you can see Laurel lends herself best to working with platform DPS units, not melee DPS units. But Lust can kind of pick up the slack there by giving some extra rage to her nightmare buddies from her passive, right? So let's end to battle. Wish me luck. Valeriya, honey, babe, please don't die, all right? Please don't die. Let's get into it. I'll also say if we're talking Awakenings, it's a good account. Don't get it wrong. It's a bit of a spender account. The gear is solid, as you've seen. We'll go through everyone's build at the end, but nothing insane. So we got A1 Silas, we got A2 Valeriya. A1 Arach's kind of sick, but keep in mind, she's doing like nothing. She's except being an amazing lord. A1 Hex, pretty solid, very solid. And then, yeah, of course, we've got all of our 4 epics at A5. I think this is pretty darn realistic, though. I really do. I really do. And if you're saying, well, I don't have any of those heroes, I don't have that gear, that's what the game is, dude. You can sub in the heroes you do have and bide your time, or go for a different strat, or just be patient and grind up better gear. Because you could do with less heroes if you had better gear, or vice versa, right? Like, people have to realize everyone's going to progress at their own rate. Cassandra spent a little money, and she's also had tremendous luck. She averages a legendary like every 40 pulls. One of the luckiest accounts I know. So yeah, of course she's got better heroes than you, but still, you can see all that happened is I went into her account, we inserted Lust, and we went up like 19 or 20k blood. Let me show you how it happened. Okay, so let's head into battle. Show you guys how this goes. So we have our 5 main DPS, and then we have 5 other units. The other 5 are all wearing Invig, so that we can put Invigoration and get that 10% attack increase on all of them. So first we will do Arrogance. He can go right here, 2 tiles away. He's going to be the melee unit in Laurel range. You can see Laurel's going to go on this tile here, so he's going to be the only one that's directly touching her. Next we can do, we'll do Wrath first actually, because he's going to be the first cycling unit after Laurel that we redeploy, so we can pick up. I'm going to go a little faster now. I'm too much talking. There is going to be Lust. We can get ready with Aracha. She's an Invig. She can buff Lust. Then we can get Valeriya down. She goes there. Then we get Dolores down. She's an Invig, so she buffs Valeriya. Here comes Hex. Laurel's an Invig, so she buffs Hex. Then we have got Silas, and then finally Hollow's an Invig. And you will see as I click through, I can just click down the line actually. So Silas has Invig, Lust has Invig, Valeriya. Invigs, do not sleep on your gear A2. That's what I'm trying to show you here. Silas, Hex, and finally, who am I not showing? Oh, is this everybody? You saw everybody? Oh, Arrogance. There you go. Because he's an auto ult. So, something interesting that I'm going to do here, and I chose to do on the first run, and it worked, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to leave Laurel down. Since I placed these guys immediately, and if you haven't noticed, I do not use Volca for this comp, just because I want to bring Valeriya, and I would have to lose that spot, I think, if I didn't. So because it's such a long come up, I'm just going to leave her down, let her get a full rotation of her ult, even a bit of a second ult, because no reason to pick her up now. It would lead to a bit faster cycling later on, but then we'd have all this downtime with only 7 units while we wait for these guys to be revived. So let's keep it on 1x, and I'll show you. For these first few, as soon as people are ready, I am going to trigger the ults. Later on, I'll be more worried about lining up with Dolores. We trigger as they come up. Trigger. Let's get Hollow going. I will wait. We trigger Laurel, and now they're nice and even, so we can go. And I'm not going to pick her up, right? Because look, we still have 36 and a half seconds left. Doesn't make sense. Ooh, my head is in the way, so if you missed a couple of those, my apologies. Let me make myself a little higher like this. Glad I caught that. So here we go. Let's watch. The damage is solid. As you can see, we're already hitting 3k before even reaching the shield. I think as long as Valeriya doesn't die, we're good to go. Basically, that's what we're cooking with. So I'm keeping an eye on where everyone's loading up at. And it looks, keep in mind, Valeriya, when it comes to picking up Laurel, I'm never looking at Valeriya and Lust because they're not in her range. I'm more paying attention to these other guys. So I'm going to let those ults run out. Let's wait till they finish, and then we'll see where they're at. But if they're over 50%, there's no real reason to pick up. You know, we're still just going to keep on waiting. So here we go. Here is Valeriya. Here is Lust. Let's see. Silas is about there. Let's wait. Let's see what Hex is at. Yeah, I'm going to wait for Dolores, and then I'm going to pick up, is how we're going to do this. We might even have to wait for a full cycle. We'll see. No, we'll be good to go. So let's trigger Laurel, excuse me. Now, I'm going to wait to trigger Dolores, otherwise I wouldn't get the benefit of the 50% boost when I pick up. So let's go. Let's trigger these guys while Laurel's down so we can get a benefit from her passive. Trigger you. We'll get a little bit extra rage regen that way. Now we can pick her up. You'll see we get the benefit of Hex and with Silas. And now we put down Wrath. So 2 reasons. Wrath is just going to, in general, have more DPS than Aracha. That's why we do him first. But also, that's another nightmare unit to be ulting, to help for Sinful Lashes from Lust, and to exist for Lust to whip it out of. Mind my language. I'll have to bleep that in post. I hope I remember to bleep it in post. So you can see the damage is looking pretty darn good. I'm I'm always looking for about, I don't know, 12k by 330. A bit different for a comp like this where we're not doing Pyrus. There's no big bursts. It looks pretty good. This is about exactly where I was. There you go, 12k at 330. Looks quite good to me. Now we just keep an eye on Laurel. It is a bit more relaxing with this comp. We can trigger right away because Laurel has a full minute off since there's no Volca, so it's not as aggressive cycling. It makes it potentially harder to get the big numbers, but it's a little easier on the brain. It certainly is. So let's wait. A tip I've gotten from Ray from the Dragon Slayers is when the first meteorite is about to hit, that's a good time to time out Valeriya's ult. Obviously, we're going to miss that window right now. But the fact that she's not ulting means she's also not going to be dying, because when she's ulting, she can't be healed. So I'm actually going to wait for the second one. So we'll hold on Valeriya. We can go for Lust already. Let's keep her cycling. Here comes the Infernal Roar. Looks like we can line everybody up really nicely right now. So that is very much what I intend to do. Valeriya is not dead. That's always really exciting. You can see Wrath is slowly dying because he is not in Hollow's range. I don't really care about Wrath right now, quite frankly. I really don't. It's really, I'm focusing on all these other main guys. So everything's lining up really, really good. Let's wait. Can always trigger Silas a bit before Dolores because he has that annoying delay. Now we can trigger Valeriya. Now we can trigger Hex. Now we wait. Oh, that's a terrible time loss. Let's pick up. It's very hard to reach Wrath here. I probably should just put him over there. And next time I will. Now we can pick up him. And we can get ready for Lust. We'll get a trigger out of a Hollow, and then we will pick up Lust, because we really want to min-max everything. Otherwise, we'd be wasting all this good extra rage we have built. Let's put Laurel down there. Let's wait. I really wish moments like this we could go to half X. Let's trigger. Now we can go up right away. Now we can get a Racha down. I guess I'll put her in the same annoying spot, and I'm just going to have to pay attention. All right, the damage is very high. We're doing better than we did last time. The damage is really, really high right now. Can trigger right away. Trigger. Now we're kind of cruising. You can see it's a bit more relaxing when you have these long cooldowns. Your cycling DPSs, so here are Lords and Wrath and Aransha. They have more time down. Laurel, you don't have to be constantly juggling it and thinking about it. It's a specific kind of strat, but it certainly does work. So here we go with Valeriya. Let's see. Now we'll be able to time Valeriya out properly. So that's nice. That's a good thing. Hex we're going to hold, I think. Let me see what Laurel looks like. No, we can trigger Hex. We can trigger Hex. It's going to be tight, but we can trigger him. Everyone else now we will hold, except for Valeriya. Because she's probably going to die anyway, because it's what she does best. You know what? We might just hold Valeriya too, because I think Hollow can probably keep her alive. So we're basically going to hold everybody except for Dolores and Hollow. Because the damage is looking very strong. Just take my word for it. Just don't die, Valeriya. She basically is about to die. Oh, yeah, excellent. So Aracha died. I do not mind that one frickin' bit. We'll just keep an eye on everything. Here comes the second Infernal Roar. So let's just hope these guys don't die, especially Valeriya. Excellent. Okay, this looks really good for us. We're about to hit 32k. That's a nice little number to keep an eye on. If we're at by like 33k by the time he's like kind of into that vulnerable state after we bust the shield, we're in good shape. We can get Laurel down already. And we're going to wait for everybody to time this out pretty nicely. You're going to see, hopefully we get the roll from Dolores, excuse me. We did. So that basically all but guarantees we're about to get 50k, because now I'll show you. Here comes the second meteorite impact. Let's click off for 1 second. So we can line everything up perfectly right now. So we're going to trigger Lust. We're going to trigger, we're going to trigger Hollow. Only Hex is a bit late, but I can totally live with that. Now we wait for Silas. Don't pick up Laurel until Silas turns orange. Now pick up. We can instantly trigger Dolores. Let's get Wrath down. It looks really good. Let's trigger Valeriya. Let's trigger Hex. And you can see we're at 33k while during the shield. So this is going to be really nice for us. I'm hoping by a minute we're at like 42k. Then we're in really good shape, especially since Valeriya hasn't died yet. I still envision she's going to die. But look at that. That's a big number. That is a big number right there, folks. We're looking easy, maybe 43k. This is going to be better than last time. I'm really satisfied. I'm not trying to toot my horn at all. I'm not trying to be full of hubris, but I didn't think we were going to get 50k. And the fact that we really are getting there, it speaks to the power of these units, but it really speaks to the power of Lust. She's so good. She's really proving my point. It makes me very happy. And I could optimize this better. I still could. There's other things I would have to experiment with, you know? Looking really good. We're already almost at 45k with nearly a full minute left. Let's trigger Lust. I'm fully prepared for Valeriya to die now. I just don't care. I could time it out with the meteorite strike, so I'm not going to do it yet. Let's wait. Actually, let's just do it. Just die. It doesn't matter. Let's take advantage of Dolores being still ulting. So that lines up. She almost certainly will die, but the damage is huge right now. It really is. The damage is huge. We're going to get this really, really comfy. A lot would have to go wrong for this not to work. So now she's going to get wiped as soon as her ult ends, but it's okay. We're ready with Aracha. We're ready with Laurel. Trigger. Okay, excellent. We got to pick a unit up. She didn't die somehow, so let's pick up Wrath. Let's get Laurel down. All right, now she died right in time to bust my run. All right, let's trigger. Now, no reason to wait here. As soon as Hex turns, let's pick up. Full auto. Let's go. GG. GG's in the chat. Good. Let's go, baby. It's fairly tight, but we totally got it, right? Doesn't matter what happens now. Roch gets wiped. I don't care. Looks like we're looking at a really nice 52 or so. This team's better than my team, man. Aracha is so good. She really empowers these guys, but there you go. There you have it. And only 2 tries. It's crazy. It's crazy. Really, really nice stuff. So there it is. That is going to be Maw for Cassandra. So congratulations to you, ma'am. Straight out of Romania. Let me take a picture so I can send it to her. That is just too cool. I'll show you guys the stats now. Look at that. Almost 100 mil with arrogance. That is literally impossible with this gear, with this team, without Lust. She is next level. And I mean, look what happens when Valeriya doesn't die until the very end. Another 12 million damage. That might have been the difference, was Valeriya not dying. It made it a lot more comfortable. Not the total difference. I mean, that 12 million didn't happen from that, but probably another 6 million or something. I mean, just great. Look at that. She's still like on par with Silas, and he's in the better gear, and he's more min-max. The strategies are more optimized for him. She's too good, man. She's too good. Just take... I hope you took my word for it, and then for those who started doubting, I hope you continue. Not just my word, everyone's word. I'm telling you, she's worth every inch of hype. She's such... Her combination between utility and DPS is ridiculous. She's going to carry so many people so far. I really, really hope this helped. I really do. There you have it. Let's complete. We should see the achievement pop up right here. Yes, we do. Dragon Slayer 4. That is going to be a Maw for Cassandra. Let me very quickly just hop in here. I know the video is going to go slightly long. I'll show you everyone's gear really, really quickly. So if we go in Wrath, he's in a base level Wailing Skull. I just threw an Invig set on him with any form of DPS, some speed, because I want him ulting, some Rage Regen, some speed. It's not great. You know, this is, she needs better Invig, if we're being honest. But I mean, she already got her 50k, so who cares? Pretty cool stuff. There are the total stats. It's really just about when he cycles in, you know, he's a body for Lust to whip, and he can ult, and that will help her as well with triggering the Sinful Lash. So that's gonna be Wrath. Let's continue down the line. You guys saw Lust already. Here comes Arrogance. He's in a max promo plus 22 Realm Tear, nearly max skilled. The main skills are max, Awaken 0, and again, thank you to Cassandra for not A1ing him. Not that this would make such a difference, it'd be more for healing, but it would make a little difference because then more heals could go to other people. I mean, potentially it would make it worse, actually, I'm thinking, because he would get healed less by Hollow. I don't know. Thank you for doing that, for making it look a little bit less crazy. I do appreciate that. For gear, he's in her best Soulbound Arcana. I could actually probably switch this with Hex. This gear is slightly better than the gear Hex is wearing, and that would probably improve the score even a bit more. This is like the best gear on her account, I would say. This is the best build we could get on him. This is very good. 16.6, 1.3, 108.5, 345. It's very good. Let's keep going. We can go down the line now. Here's Hex in the second best Soulbound Arcana I can make, so we had to go Crit Rate Bangle. Pretty good stuff. That freed up a piece like this, though. So Crit Rate Bangle, not always a terrible thing. Huge crit damage roll there. Really, really nice. Total stats, 12, 7, 1.1 second is very good. Crit caps at 384, very strong. If we go to Artifact here, we've got a max Spirit Siphon plus 22. Now to Valeriya, she's in the best Infernal Roar we could get, or I guess second best Lust would be in the best one. I'll just click through it really quickly. You can see pretty good pieces. There you go, 25.6. I knew she wouldn't always be lining up with Dolores' ult, so I was like, let's just pump the attack to the moon. 1.6 seconds, 252 crit damage, a little light there, but it's okay. She's in a max out Wailing Skull. Now if we go to Aracha, Aracha is in an Invig. Just going for whatever. I didn't even max this piece, so I'll max it for her. It's worth maxing. Yeah, just trying to get her some attack speed so she can ult, and, you know, the damage isn't critting from her toxic, whatever it's called. Her toxic, what's it called? Oh my god. Spider Toxin, excuse me. It's based on the caster's attack, so based on her attack, so I just want to get her attack really high, so that's what I did. Then some speed, just so she ults and keeps it going. She is in her exclusive, which is nice. You saw she didn't really do any damage, but it allows her to ult quicker, and that's where like any semblance of damage on her is coming from. Doesn't matter. I just min-max this thing. 17-2, 1.5 second interval. Those are the key things to discuss. We showed you arrogance already. We showed you lust. Let's go out. I don't think I showed you Silas. So there's Silas. He's in her best Ageless Wrath. It's solid. I mean, lots of ancients, right? But we did have to go crit rate bangle again. It's solid. There we go. Attack bonus crit rate, crit damage, and this piece I like a lot. Attack bonus crit damage, attack again, attack speed. Again, the crit rate bangles enabling this build, and he's in a 2 promotion Spirit Siphon, so not too shabby. I think that whole top row I showed you except for Laurel, the whole bottom row I showed you except for Dolores and Hall. So just the epics remain. Here's Laurel. She's in an Invig set. Just going for as much rage regen and attack speed as I could. Didn't have an attack speed amulet to use, but this did have a huge roll. So we kind of just went with that stuff, just because I did use her ult a little bit at the beginning, so might as well get it up as fast as possible. That can be helped by using a Nightmare Samsara. Base level, though, so this is something that could be improved a bit as well. But yeah, Laurel's just doing Laurel things. She's just using this talent. Moving right along, we've got Hollow. Hollow, I go for... This has actually turned out to a pretty good Hollow build. So a little high in the attack, because you don't want her healing for too much, because you want people to not be at max heals, so they can get the benefit from her A1. I'll show that really quickly. 1% rage added to every ally or anyone she heals, regardless of the heal strength. It's just when they are healed, plus 1% rage. So you just want her going really fast. You want her healing, but not healing too much. So that's kind of what we accomplished here. Attack speed, you have to go attack speed amulet on Hollow. Bad sub stat rolls, but don't really care. Here we went rage regen. I also think you kind of have to do that for a lot of content. Attack speed, a little heal effect, a little attack. But all in all, you don't want too much heal effect. You don't want too much attack. You just want tons of speed. Tons of rage regen. So we got her at 76% rage regen and 575 attack speed. I think that got her to a 1.4 second interval. Not too shabby. And last but not least at all, we got Dolores. And I will say shout out to Cassandra. I only had to change one piece, just this ring over here. Everything else was exactly optimized. So we're just going for attack bonus, flat attack bonus, flat attack with some rage regen. This is an awesome piece. Then attack bonus, a little bit of flat attack bonus and flat attack, and then biggest attack bonus roll we could get. We went for premium sets, really nice. Nothing matters except for the attack in the end. 12-4, we will take it in full Invig, and then she's in a maxed out Keen Wisdom. Actually, I should have showed you, we had a Euphoric Orb on Hollow, which is going to be her best in slot for this, no question. If you didn't use Laurel, then I would say Golden Scarab would be the best in slot, but with Laurel, it's got to be Euphoric Orb. There you go, guys. That is the squad. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Congrats to Cassandra. Let's go take a peek at Maul to wrap up this video. If you like my stuff, please like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Follow me on Twitch if you want. I stream on Twitch every single day. Hit that notification bell. Share it with your mother. There's Ma. There's that beautiful guy. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Fastidious.